Hey Veronica, when I saw your video in class, I knew I just had to respond to it, for two reasons mainly. First of all, you said you were into crafts, specifically Mod Podge, and I found that very interesting because I enjoy doing arts and crafts myself. And second, you had mentioned you had filmed this in your office, which I had found to be very interesting because I myself have an office. But that's not the only commonalities that we have. And you said you were also in a youth group. That you participate in a youth group. I participate in a youth group as well. I've been doing so for about a year now and enjoy it. You also said that you like, the 80s music. I'm kind of a fan of the 80s music too. I'm more like the Christian bands like Petra and whatnot. Those are the kind of bands that I like to listen to, but I have a little bit of a connection there. You also said that you've made videos too. I have as well. I've made them. I am a licensed teacher. When I student taught, I recorded videos and presented and put them on YouTube for the students to watch, because this was during the time of COVID, and some people were at home and some weren't, and a little confusing. I have more information in my regular video if you're interested in that. I also saw that you like to learn new things. I do as well. I always like the idea of gaining new information. That's always intrigued me. You also said that you used media to get through the pandemic. I did as well, specifically YouTube. And I go into more in depth in that in my intro video if you want to go in and watch that. Now I do have also a couple of questions, just kind of extend the conversation. You said that you were a big fan of Poirot and you really liked the movies. Now my question is, have you watched, I believe it was BBC that did it? Acorn Media now is now the one that's putting them out. You can find them on YouTube. David Suchet's version of Poirot. He starts with the first book and goes all the way to the last book, and there's different short stories and mysteries, and they're all, some of them, are short movies, but later on they all get to be, full-length movies. They're quite really interesting. You might enjoy those if you haven't already. You also said that you liked Nancy Drew, and that made me wonder, being a big fan of the 80s music, have you watched or even heard of the Hardy Boy Nancy Drew mystery series that came out? It was I think ran for 3 seasons. It was had the Hardy Boys, and it had Nancy Drew, and sometimes they were together and whatnot. So, that might be something that you like. I don't know. Something to think about. I also had to laugh when you said that you had a VHS, and it made me wonder, did you have the VHS because you have the Disney movies? And the reason I asked that is because I have a friend who's a big fan, and he, has the VHS as well and keeps the movies, and I was just wondering if you did the same thing as well. Finally, my question is, how do you make your crafts? You didn't really go into that. I saw a little bit on the wall, and I thought maybe that's what that was. For me, I like doing a variety of things. So I will do, 3D printing, scale model building. If I turn here, you can see, some of my work piled up here for just kind of stashed, but those are the kind of things that I like to do, and I was just wondering, what do you make, and how do you make it? So I'd be curious to not only talk, hear your answer, but also discuss this with you. Maybe share ideas and thoughts that might help each other. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and I hope to talk to you and see you more in class this semester. Take care.